Lord Trader, might we have a word in private? It is of great import to the sanctity of the shrines throughout the vessel.
Merest Serance. Why, certainly yes. A private word may be afforded. Where would you want this word, if you had somewhere in mind? Otherwise, my office is always suitable.
Your office would suffice. As this ship's confessor and spiritual shepherd, I simply must inquire what duty the house's honor guard has been given that involves the mid-deck's central shrine. Their behavior, when I dared to pry them for information, was as that of a rockcrete barricade. Indeed, the whole affair was beginning to take upon dreadful undertones, which is why I felt to bring this to your attention directly.
Please sit. I understand your worry, and so I shall reward you with the truth. Currently, the ritual of holy sanctification, his will made unto others, sacred will to tie all, is being conducted in those rooms. However, this process is a careful one, requiring a daily, intensive purification and a weekly affirmation in which the absolute will of the God Emperor is enforced to bring about sacred order. I wish to absolutely ensure this process could be completed without issue, for allowing even the slightest crack in such a careful process might allow malign forces to strengthen their grip. To further this, I wanted only a select amount of priests involved in the process, as to alleviate the pressure and ensure there was no leak in the information. I myself have been unable to participate much in this process, unfortunately, as I have been busy spreading the faith to the new aliens aboard the vessel.
Surely it must have crossed your mind to inform the sororitas on board your ship such an ecclesiastical ceremony was in progress. This brazen exclusion, in such a spiritual manner, is a significant oversight I can hardly find tolerable. Were it pertaining to the alien witchcraft of that lurid sorceress, I would understand, as I care not for the Xenos.
Please breathe easy. I can understand your worry, but I assure you, I did not wish to cause offense. If you so desire, you could oversee the rituals themselves. Given the ritual was being performed upon formerly Xenos weaponry, though, I simply did not want to disturb you, nor push you away from your tasks, given you haven't actively spread the faith to even the new crystallites. I was under the impression you were simply too busy, and so I took the tasks up for you. Right now, there are 6 sites in which this ritual, at synchronous times, is being conducted. The process, of course, shall remove the taint of the immaterium from recovered weaponry, and have it serve under the Emperor's light. After all, any and all can serve the Imperium, given they act with it, and not against it. Thus, even these crude weapons, with their ties to a part of the immaterium I have never witnessed, can be cleansed, have their technology reclaimed, be turned into objects of the Great Faith, and be put to use eliminating all those who would oppose humanity. To turn them away would be foolish on our parts, after all. To simply destroy them would be admitting we cannot conquer them. Yet that is a notion I do not believe in. Unless an enemy drives itself into self-affirmed destruction, all can be claimed underneath our guiding hand. The Lost Worlds Project, the new holy words of the God Emperor's mightiest sons, they all serve to uphold this, and so do I. So, do you have any interest in the ritual?
Under all ecclesiarchy teachings I am aware of, housing Xenos technology in a shrine is an act of desecration, let alone giving them blessings. Verily, the fastest and most sured way to rid anything of warp taint is a bath in holy promethium, just as destruction of the profane is more than conquering something. It is complete domination. The only interest I have in this ritual is putting an end to it. Accursed Xenos artifacts should not be kept where servants of the Emperor come to confess their sins, lest a foul spirit from the great beyond prey upon the righteous,
That is what I once believed. However, I have come to realize something, after having dedicated myself to the sayings of the God Emperor's greatest sons. May they ever be blessed to live eternal and prosper. You see, the God Emperor is mightier than what the priests tried to press upon us. Tell me, how can a mere Xenos tool ever corrupt someone when held in the chains of a shrine, dedicated and consecrated to the God Emperor? Is his light that weak? Is the beacon which guides all across the galaxy that dim? Nay, not at all. Instead, it is our fear which has given the enemy entry into our hearts. It is our cowardice that lets corruption spill forth, and it is the wavering in our dedication which fouls us all. If I decree in the God Emperor's name that a tool of the Xenos have its corruption stripped, its wear brought to the light, and its killing nature be used for our cause, what says that cannot be done? To even suggest otherwise is to suggest weakness in humanity, in the God Emperor himself. Nay, Miras Sarans, reinforce your faith. Drive the evil out of these tools. Force them to be tools of the God Emperor's light. Anything less is to admit fear. To admit that one would rather flee and see an unknown work burn, rather than wrangle it to their cause, proving their absolute dominion over it. But if we are to go by the letter of the law, Robute Gilliman, Holy Great Son of the God Emperor, has decreed that Xenos technology be harnessed and used. It is merely the weapon's wayward nature that need be corrected. And just like the penitent who are brought into the crucible alongside the holiest of followers, so too will these tools be cleansed, redirected, and strengthened by the God Emperor's unwavering will. For his will has spoken through his sons, and the resulting decision is made clear.
Your words move me, if ever so slightly. But heed mine own. The ecclesiarchs, and dare I say even the machine priests, have protected the God Emperor's flock with their teachings for millennia. For as many things we can conquer, there are those which truly cannot be controlled, as is befitting of their fell origins. The God Emperor's angel sons, rest assured, would not encourage irresponsible contact with unknown technology. I'm sure the preparations of the rite are enough if your lordship enacted them, but do not forget temperance. Many a heretic started upon their wretched path with good intentions, believing they knew better than those who came before. I'll oversee these rituals, but I'd like to be made aware of any operations that are to be taken upon within the shrines.
I understand, Miras Sarans. When we encounter that which refuses our will, that which would slaughter us before even a glimmer of hope could shine for it to be brought underneath the great vision of the God Emperor, that we will annihilate, without so much as a second thought. To reject the light of the God Emperor, even after being given the second chance to bask in its glory, after all, is an offense that demands retribution. And of course, as per your wishes, you shall be made aware of all ongoings within the shrines. I trust you shall be wise with what you may learn, and that you, yourself, may too spread the holy light of the God Emperor beyond all reaches once thought possible. Was there anything else, O good sister?
I find your agreeability towards the alien to be misplaced. They can be cooperative, but aliens are collusive even more than their technology we wish to harness. And you're already known to the holy text's words on Xenos. We work together for the moment, but at some time in the future, they must submit. How do you expect the aliens to respond to mankind's rightful rule of the galaxy? I predict most will resist. And what then?
I have noticed your hatred towards the Xenos, an old, deeply supported tenet of the Imperial Creed, and for good reason. However, with the oversight that we now have from the sons of the God Emperor, it seems things are befit to change. Of course, yes, you do have a point. Some will resist when the final nails come into place. But by then, I ask you, why do they question our rule? As I have been doing with the crystallites, a key piece of what we do in this fringe sector is spreading the faith, the enlightenment of humanity. We work to ensure that when the Xenos join our cause, they see no reason to question us. If that work is conducted to its fullest, then when the time comes, there shall be no rebellion, for there shall be no want to rid themselves of what they have. Do that work well, Miras, and we needn't have even a single life lost at the cusp of this takeover. And what more could a man want than not need to needlessly give away the life of his children?
My distaste for the Xenos is sharpened by the words of the ecclesiarchy, but not hardened by experience. The Xenos resist according to their nature, just as we would rightfully resist invasion from their own militants. Your feverish optimism is admirable. However, if mankind is to persist as the dominant force in the galaxy, others must fall to the wayside.
And that shall come into play, as need be. Have no worries, Miras. I would not have our backs bent to satisfy every whim of the Xenos. However, I also understand that many have not reached the enlightenment we have. As per the duties thrust upon us by the Imperium, we must spread that enlightenment. True resistance will be cold. The rest shall fall in line, given time and proper displays of our unquestionable faith.
The brightest displays of faith are on the field of battle. What levels of dissidence shall be tolerated before the offender faces the end of a bolter? I fear too much leeway may be gifted to aliens. If an inordinate amount of time is wasted uplifting the unworthy, our enemies will prey on our weakness.
That, simply put, is my purview. Of course, advice is necessary in such a matter, but trying to hash out what does or doesn't cross the line right now is a moot point. For the moment, things have been working out exceptionally. Resource production alone is expected to be tripled thanks to the careful application of now faithful Xenos. However, I know that no weakness shall be granted to them. Victory is already ours. Simple as that.
I must beg my leave now. I have much to meditate on. Many thanks for your spare time, Lord Trader.
But of course. Good day to you, sister.